The problem with the mixed arrangements page in the Hansel and Petal site is that looping through the results of the database query has displayed each item in a separate div. We need to adapt the loop so that 4 items appear in each div, so we'll have 4 items going across the page on each row. It doesn't involve a lot of code, but it does need a little explanation. So let's take a look at the existing code. Go to our code editor. And the loop begins on line 57 and it ends on line 67. Inside there we've got a div, an unordered list and 1 list item. We need some way of adding 4 items to that unordered list as we had in the original HTML. So let's analyze what needs to be done. This is the basic structure. Each time the loop runs you get a div and an unordered list with a single item in it. We need the loop to control the opening and closing tags of the div and unordered list so that 4 list items are sandwiched between them. So the first time that the loop runs, the opening tags for the div and unordered list need to be inserted, but the closing tags need to be skipped. On the second run, both the opening and closing tags of the div and unordered list need to be skipped. The same needs to happen on the third run. And then on the fourth run through the loop, the opening tags should still be skipped, but the closing tags need to be inserted. And the output will give us 4 list items inside our unordered list. And to achieve this, we need to use some simple arithmetic to control the conditional statements around both blocks of code. The technique that we need to use relies on modulo division, which finds the remainder of a division of one number by another. Let's see how modulo division works in PHP. In PHP, the percentage sign is used as the modulo operator. The value on the left is divided by the value on the right, and the result is the remainder. So when 4 is divided by 4, the remainder is 0. When 5 is divided by 4, the remainder is 1. Let's look at that in the browser because we're using Echo to display the results of each calculation. So in the browser, we need to go to localhost/exercises/06_05 and the name of the file is modulo_01.php. And let's just zoom in on that so we can see those results more clearly. So when 0 is divided by 4, the remainder is 0. When 1 is divided by 4 using modulo division, the remainder is 1. And so when we get back down to 4 divided by 4, we're back at 0. 5 divided by 4, we're there at 1 again. So how can we use this to identify every 4th item in a series? Well, let's take a look at modulo 02 PHP, and it tells us that 5 is not equally divisible by 4. If we go back to our editing program, here is modulo_02 PHP. Number is set at 5, and we've got it here on line 14 an if condition, and we're using modulo division to divide number by 4 and testing whether it is equal to 0 using 3 equal signs. If I change this, say, to 8, save the page and reload, and it tells me that 8 is either 0 or it's equally divisible by 4. So that is the technique that we'll be able to use to control the loop, and that's our next task in displaying the results in mixed.php.